Hi, good afternoon. Hello. How's everybody doing today? This is going to be a live video. I'm waiting on some people to come in my chat room. If you are watching this at a later date and you want to zip through, please go ahead and zip through the parts if you want to. And I'm going to talk about what we did yesterday. We did a real cute game called Journaling by Fives, and I'm looking for I think this was one of the favorites. Spicy Morning Art. It's afternoon now. Hi, Becky. Hi, Lisa. I thought I would get on. Hi, Barb. Hi, honey. Thought I'd get on and do something with what we did last night. Did everybody recover? It was pretty wild. I was slinging paper around here like crazy. Hi, Holly. So I thought maybe today I would put this thing in a binder and maybe do a few. I got a few glue spots I could glue. So yeah, that was fun. It was good. Good. It was all good. And this is our art. We can continue to work on it if we want. Do more to it. If you want to go back and do something, you can. I have to think about that, though. I'll think about that. See what I can think about. And this picture here is on sideways, by the way. It was you probably can't even tell. It's some fresh flowers. It was in a garden magazine, and it's in a like a mason jar, and it goes this way. Isn't that hilarious? But it's just on there sideways because that's the way I put it. Boy, you got Janet in the house. Man, I got all three moderators in the house today. I had my first troll yesterday. He wasn't really a troll. He was just a kid. No one will ever know that this is that way. Wasn't it, Janet? Janet, did you do a few pages last night? I haven't been up very long. I slept in this morning. Joe's not in the house. The phone didn't ring, so I slept I slept and slept. Oh, okay. I haven't been over there yet. Okay. Great. Well, I have another book that I'm going to show you that I did real binded, if I can. I think this one. It's one of my favorite books too. Wonder what I did with it. I just bound it like with 3 rings. Oh, here it is. I did this book a while back, and this is one of my mermaids I did. Let's see if I can find a date. Well, here's some 2017 dates. So this is a journal book that I did a while back ago, and it was just cardstock paper, like I did last night, painting papers, and I bounded it. I just clipped it with the, you know, the those little clawy clips. What do you call those? Black clips. I clipped it like, you know, with these guys, and all across here. I poked holes in it, and you can see I've got eyelets on this side, but it was too thick to put an eyelet in the back and crimp, because usually these kind of eyelets, you put them on a single or 1 or 2 pages and crimp them, and then they crimp down, right? And so these guys here are just in there sitting, and I glued them down. Yeah, binder clips. Thanks, Becky. So when I did this spine, I saw it online somewhere, and all I did was clamp it down, and I put my holes in first, and then I clamped it down, and I put glue. I put just tacky glue right here, and then I put some washi tape on it. And the washi tape folded over both sides. It was probably 1 inch wide. And it was enough to fold over both sides. And then I just clamped it all the way down until it dried. Then I had the holes already in, and I was able to just do a spiral sewing technique. I put these eyelets in, and I glued them in. And because of the thickness, they went halfway through, and I couldn't put one in the back side because they were meeting, you know. I didn't have a little one to go in there. So I just did it on the front. So it's just really for looks. Glued them in, and then I just did a spiral twist with my cordage, and I've used 3 cords, and this is the bracelet cording from Walmart in the jewelry department. It doesn't stretch or anything. And I did 3 strands. I did a light blue, a dark blue, and an off-white. You can see them. And I ended back up. I did a spiral down, and then I sewed up the back and tied it, and just tied a knot up here for looks. And then that's where I put all my danglies and my bling. And that's it. And then, you know, I kept it binded real tight until this glue really took hold and dried really good. So it may have taken several days for that to really dry hard. And inside the book, I have a variety of cardstocks on the back, painting papers, a variety of painting papers, roll-off papers, graphic paper, piece of scrapbook paper. But this scrapbook paper came in a different kit, and it's more like copy paper. This is some sort of typing onion paper maybe or something, because it's real crinkly. It's not vellum, but it's some type of typing paper, probably onion paper. And here's a piece of music paper, another painty paper, stenciling, piece of map paper. So a variety of papers are in here, even junk mail. Here's some junk mail. So I have a variety of paper in here, and I've done a few journal pages. I've done, some of my artwork is in here. And this is marble paper that I did back in 2017. And if you have not seen the marble paper, you've got to go see the video on the marble paper or request it and we'll do it again. I just love doing marble paper. I like mixing colors. And if you noticed last night, when I played the game, I only used 3 colors. I made purple with the red and the blue, and I made green with the yellow and the blue, and I made orange with the yellow and the red. And then I had the yellow and the red and the green, the blue as well. So I like mixing colors for some reason. It's one of my things. But this was a little kit that I had. Somebody sent me in some Happy Mail, and it was a little scrapbooking kit, and I glued it down here. And here is a prompt game that I did, and I dated it June 2017, and that's when the prompt games started becoming popular with me, and I started doing them. And here's another little art page that I did. I think this might have been a prompt game too. And this was a bulletin from my church, and it was obviously on July the 4th, because this was July 2017 as well. So I'm pretty sure that this was July the 4th holidays. And this was just in a catalog. It was an Oklahoma visitor's guide catalog, or a visitor's book. And I cut her out a cowgirl. She's got Lily on her waistband, so I don't know if she's somebody famous or not, a statue. But anyway, I did this little mermaid, and I started getting into mermaids. So Lisa, I think I'm going to do something similar to this on your book. I've enjoyed this. This is eggshells, and I painted her off of another video that I watched, but I don't remember who it was. And it was my interpretation of whoever I watched, And I need to paint her little flower back down. It's coming off. Do a little maintenance here. We can do that. But anyway, after I put the eggshell down I put it down with Mod Podge, and then I go over it with Mod Podge. And then, of course, I highlight it and color it with turquoise and glitter, a little bit of glitter glue, make it shiny, iridescent. But I love her, and I've got some really cute mermaids that I'm going to be using. And of course, I love to do bling strings. But anyway, I wanted to show you this binding technique that I did, and I don't think I followed anybody's lead on this. I think I saw somebody do some with glue, and that was probably, if I had to guess, might have been Barb Owen, because I watched a lot of her. Over the years, I watched a lot of Barb. But anyway, it was kind of made up. I did it myself, and I just did whatever I felt like doing and what I thought looked good. And that's what I think I'm going to do to our journaling by 5. Okay, Susan. Susan is listening and painting. Paint away. Anything else going on? Yeah, onion skins. Paper, very lightweight, strong. Yeah, often translucent. Exactly. Aunt Becky, you put the Wikipedia on the onion skin paper, Betty. Yeah, thank you. But anyway, we were talking about playing the game again in 2 weeks. And since Lisa did the back of hers, I watched Mary's. Mary did a video on hers, and she said she was going to do hers on the back side. So maybe I need to bind this after we play the second game. Because when I bind it the way, if I do the glue method, it won't be laying too flat. It'll be kind of hard to work in. So, yeah. So maybe I'll do that. Do you want me to do a flip through again? Did you all see it enough last night? Susan liked my mermaid book. Okay, one more time. And I could probably, as much art journaling as I've done, I could probably do a little more decorations on these and find some things to make them look nice. Maybe some stickers or some glitter glue and things like that. But I'll flip through it real quick. Okay. Got to get him out the door. I know what you mean. He's off to work. I know where he's going. So this was a popular one. Somebody liked it last night because it said spicy morning art. And somebody was laughing at this one. Intensely beautiful art. And of course, he's doing the art of fishing. But this has got some ribbon on, some seam binding, glued down, and it's got some stamps that I just had those little square stamps and stamped them on by themselves. They had a little butterfly on there. It's really kind of simple. It's not, it's easy. And this says in tune for delicious, and I wrote art, but I think it's a little dark. So I think I might do some glitter gluing on that and brighten that out. I might take, I couldn't find a black magic marker last night, and I think this needs to be done in black, outlined. And of course, he's just as cute as can be. He's a bulldog. And this here is an armband that Joe wore when he went to Daytona Infield Stadium when they had their turkey run, or one of their car shows up at Daytona Speed at the big racetrack. And I don't know how I got a hold of it, but he gave it to me, so I put it on there. It's a keepsake now. I really like this one, hand art. So I might have to make something, put something on here that I make by hand, and I could do that. I have another piece of art that I put down. Let me see if I can find it real quick. This here, you all didn't know this last night because I couldn't talk a whole lot. I was in delayed chat. And by the way, we fixed the problem that I had last night. My speaker was accidentally turned off, and I didn't know my speaker was off, so I couldn't hear Lisa uh, talk only through my earphones, and I couldn't leave this microphone on because it was interfering with her. It was confusing. But we found out the problem afterwards. But this little artwork right here, it's just a stamp. And then I sewed around the heart with some embroidery thread. So I can do some more of this and put it on this page. Handwork, hand art, and I can do some hand pieces and add to this page. So that would be good. Oh, Joyce's dog is at the vet. Oh, well, I hope everything's okay. Hi, Gilly. Just doing a quick flip through here. Just trying to talk about seeing what I can do to add to my art. You know, even though we did this last night as a game, it doesn't have to be the total end of your artwork. You can continue to work on it. And I also in Tanya's totally junk journal classes that she has on Sundays. She as soon as I find my totally junk journal book, I think I put it right here. Well, I've misplaced it. Now there's no way I can misplace it because it's big. I put it somewhere where I wouldn't forget it. Right here it is. I found it. I put it somewhere where I wouldn't forget it and forgot it. But I could put some of this artwork that Tanya taught us in on this hand art page. And I was thinking of something like this. Tanya taught us how to do this. It's a weaving around, and we made this little tiny disc on a piece of cardboard, and we weaved in and out, in and out, in and out, over, under, around in a circle till we made a little disc. And that would be some hand art. I can make another one of those and put it on this page. So there's lots of hand things that I can do by hand. And Lisa, everything we make in her class is by hand, so I can do that too. But I already had this book made up when I joined Tanya's group, the Totally Junk Journal group. I just found her. I don't even know how I found her. Found her by accident, and then next thing I knew, Joe bought me the camera, and I started streaming, and that's how my little world began. And here I am. But I already had this book, and I've outgrown it, so I'm going to have to make another Totally Junk Journal to continue Tanya's things because I've got them in an envelope over here. But anyway, I think hand art would look cute on this page. And this says Pure Art. And I like it because it's pastel and it's got that lace on it and that little heart that I embellished. But it kind of needs a better border or something. So I might have to go back and do something with that. And this is the good art. And I've got a cat on it. So I might have to do something else, maybe cat related. I used to have a cat like this one. I miss him. Sonny Boy. He was a goofy cat, and he was so fun. And he was a ham. If a cat could be a ham, he was a ham. And and he didn't know a stranger. He played with the dog. He chased the cat. He chased the dog. The dog would chase the cat. The cat would chase the dog. They interacted beautifully. And so he was such a goofy cat. We think he ran off with the circus, and that's what we like to believe, that he ran off with the circus. This is some of my art yarn that I spun on the spinning wheel, and I just kind of randomly glued it down. So I might have to do something there with that. I think she's pretty. And it says apply your art. And it says you are beautiful. But you can't hardly see it. So I need to brighten that up and maybe use a glitter glue on it or something. Or a gel pen maybe. And brighten that up. I can brighten that up. So see, there's always more work to do on your art pages, and I could still go back and glue a little bit, and I could even Mod Podge over top of all this and make it real glossy, if I want to go another step and make it real hard and thick. But I think I am going to wait, and I'll do the game on the back of these in 2 weeks. And we talked about Lisa. I was challenging Lisa to do 20 pages, but I think she's talked herself into doing 10. We've talked about it. But I wanted you to see that you could do 20 pages. And you see, if I had a little more time, I could have spent, a little bit more detail on them. But the game was to get you to put something on a blank piece of paper. And I think we accomplished that. And whether you had 3 pages, 5 pages, 10 pages, or 20 pages, it doesn't matter how many pages you have. It's just that you had fun playing the game, and you broke the white page syndrome. That was the problem. That was the whole idea, was to get something on a blank piece of paper, and we did. We accomplished that, and the game was a success. So, yeah. I accidentally got paint on my unicorn. This was a book, a dictionary, and it was a unicorn, and I accidentally got paint on it. I was in such a hurry. Oops. Maybe I can find a unicorn sticker to put on there. I might have one. And this says Art Star, but I was looking for one of those pictures of the girls that I had cut out, and I was going to put a girl on it, but I never did. But I could still do that. Well, no, Lisa, I'm teasing you. I'm just teasing you. I just thought it was funny. I just thought it was extremely funny that I did 20, and I was probably, I don't know if well, I think we need to get rid of him. We're not going to put we're not going to watch him. Thank you, Lisa. Mr. Trump, we're not political in this channel, so I'm sorry unless you want to art with us today. We're discussing art is our subject. I doubt very seriously that that's him. Yeah, I think we should do 5 too, Joyce, and work our way up. I think that's a good idea. I'm just teasing. You know me, I'm just goofy. I'm goofy like my cat, like Sonny Boy was. But again, I think this says Art Star, so I might even go back with a a stencil and put some stars on here or something. That'd be cute. So you can still work on your pages and do some things. And like this one here, it's going off the top, so I can trim it and still work on it. So yeah. So and you know, I've talked about this before. I put them in timeout this time. But these books, you know, when you do these books, we enjoy looking at each other's pictures and things that we do. And but I don't know, you know, I don't know of anybody else who really likes this stuff. And but us, you know, these books are for us, and they're for your enjoyment. And I'll show it to my mom, but she'll go, she'll roll her eyes. She, you know, and but maybe just maybe she'll get into it too one day, you know, and want to do it. Well, there he is again. How can I block him forever? Report. I am reporting you, Betty. That's harassment. Harassment. So anyway, I was just and see, he's so cute. I think he would be cute with a collar on him. And he's got a name. I kept his name. And his name is Manny the Frenchie. So he's famous. He's a famous dog on some show, I'm sure. We are getting trolls. I hope everybody's on deck. We're getting bombarded with trolls. Who are my monitors? Are they still in here? I think Becky had to go let Scott. Janet, are you still in here? Lisa? We'll have to be on top of these guys. Yeah, he's got different names. So Unguard. Unguard. I'm sorry about all that, guys. I'm terribly sorry. And it's a shame that people are destroying a little group of 14 people. You know, well, there's just 14 of us. You know, why don't you go to some game or something? So you're all going to earn your keep today, Lisa and Janet. You're going to earn your keep, and the only thing I know is to, you know, keep punching it. So, but anyway, I think he would be cute. I could put some a collar on him and make him and do some seed beads or something real small. No, it's not my fault. I know. Yeah, report him. That's, you know, the first time it's is just spam, but the second and the third and the fourth time is abuse. That's bullying. You know. And this one is Endless Art. And I think this is a summer drink, so it might need a summer up here and maybe a sunshine. So I can add the sunburst up there and put summer endless art. Doesn't that sound inviting? It's so pretty down here this morning. I'm sure it's already up in the 70s, and I was just uh, I was just telling I was just talking to Abby. She's the only one I can talk to down here because Joe's gone. I was saying this is my favorite time of the year down here: March, April, May, and well, I did that, Brittany, on one or two of them, and they came back under a different name. So we can continue to block all of them. Yeah, maybe they'll get tired of doing it. So, but anyway, this could be my summer endless art day, and Joe, bless his heart, he's he'll be home Saturday, and for Christmas he bought me a hammock. And that's what I wanted, and so he bought it. Well, he didn't buy the base, to put the hammock on. And I do have two trees where I could put the hammock in the two trees, but we kind of have a lot of bugs down here sometimes. Now, this time of the year, today, there are no bugs. But if you lay under a tree or something, um, most of my trees have the Spanish moss in it. And if you know anything about Spanish moss, you also know that it's a parasite. It grows in the air, and it has parasites on the moss, so it can be itchy if it weighs something like chiggers. Yeah, yep, you're right, Violet. So anyway, I told Joe I wanted the hammock to be either on the screened-in porch or by the pool on concrete. So he's making a base for it to hang it on, but he hasn't finished it. So he's been working on it since Christmas. And then in January he sprained his ankle really bad, and he was laid up for a little while, so he couldn't work on it. So he got waylaid, and so I don't blame him, and I'm not after him, but when he comes home, I'm going to have to say, get my hammock fixed, finish my hammock. So anyway, I'm going to move on. I got off on a tangent again. Violet's been working and trying to think. Thank you, Violet. We missed you too. I know you work. But anyway, I love the idea of going back and playing with each page and doing something fun with them. Oh, Violet fell asleep through the show last night. Okay, I understand that. I understand that. And this one has a neon sign that says open for, and then I wrote art. And I think the sign needs to be continued. And I did outline it, but it didn't show up. So I might have to use something like black paint and continue the sign and blacken it out around there and make that sign a little bit more neon-y. I might have to get this fluorescent paint out. I might have to break out the fluorescent paint, and I can do that and put that on there. Oh, yeah. Yes, we have fluorescent. That's a good idea. And this one is kind of on Waves of Freedom. So I need to do some more waves in here. And then, of course, I got a swordfish on there. So I can do something beachy on here. Do some waves. And I can dip into some of Lisa's mermaid items over here on the table. I've got my card table out with all the mermaid stuff on it for Lisa's book. So and this one is kind of cute. It's better, it's badder, it's back. It's a loving thing. And that's kind of the life of a butterfly. You know, because it started out as a centipede, as a worm, and it's back. It's better. It's not badder in a bad way. It's badder in a good way. So that page is cute. And I really like this page. This is my purple page. I made the purple paint with red and blue. And I like that purple paint. And I found the leftovers of a napkin that have hydrangeas on them. And I put blueberries on there, that blend. So that's a pretty page. I just need to do some more detailing on it. I did go around it with a smudge pen, but I think it just needs a little bit more, I don't know, background on it or something. I'll think about that. And this is cute. It's picnic art. And it's got a 4th of July banner on it. Like, I need some red and white check fabric on here. I think that would be cute. Or I might be able to find some red and white washi tape maybe. Let's see what I got. I don't know if I have very much red and white. I got pink and white. But I don't have a lot of red. But I bet I could find some gingham red and white fabric in my clothing bag, fabric bag I've got over there. But something like this in a red and white check, not purple. And then I have this polka dots. That would look cute on there. I got polka dots. See if I can find the end to it. It's right there. It just needs something picnicky. See, I like that already. I like that already. See? So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to continue to work on them and improve them a little bit. I got 2 great big bags over here that has fabric in them. And I had a dresser in the bedroom that I kept the fabric in. And I took that dresser out of the bedroom because I wasn't getting into the material. And so it was like out of sight, out of mind. So I removed the dresser and rearranged my bedroom and took the fabric out and brought it in here in my craft room. So now I have access to it. And it's hard to tell what's in this fabric. I need to get down in there and get it. But it would be cute to find something like this in picnic-ish fashion. Even this would be pretty for a picnic. Dig, dig, dig. Well, that's a start. Abby's looking at me like I'm a monster. And this is in a scrap, but it's got a hem in it. And the hem is by hand. And I think it was a dress because it's in a circle. So this was a skirt. And I think this came from an attic that I bought at a yard sale. Because the top of it was cut off. Here's the top of it. And it had been gathered. So this was an altered bottom part of a dress. That's a good idea, Becky. But anyway, it's got a few little stains on it. So which one do you all like for the picnic page? You want me to put the pink squares or the flowered? And this was a dress too. I think this house that I got these clothes at, they were in the attic, but it's a little dress. It was got black velvet trim on it and a zipper in the back. And I think it was a dress. I think there was a grandmother sewed for the kids. The flowers, okay. But I'm going to repurpose them. It was a homemade little dress. And it had a slit up the back, but I'm going to take part of it and use it. Because I'm not going to wear the dress, and I don't know any little girls that would wear this kind of a dress anymore. I did save, when my grandmother passed away, I saved a lot of her cotton clothes, and I wanted to make a Nana quilt. I saved a lot of her clothes, the cotton ones, and I still have them in the garage, but I probably never will make a quilt now because down here in Florida, you don't need that many blankets. Let's see now. How do I want to do this? Just do snippets. Oh, I can make a cluster. Have you ever made a cluster before? I haven't made a. I have sort of made clusters, sort of, but I haven't made any on purpose. But this would be a perfect spot to make a cluster, put a little cluster there. And you just sort of take snippets of different kinds of, like, papers and patterns and colors that I want to get red, blue, and white. Here's a piece of ribbon. It's got stains on it, but that would work. I'll make it. That would be all right in my cluster. And look at this. This is from a tangerine bag. Yes, on the sleeves? Okay. Oh, you might like those sleeves for one of your dolls, Gilly. You might be able to use this idea for your dress for your little doll babies. Here's the front of the dress, and it's got a square around the chest, and then a bow in the middle under the breast, and then the sleeves are 3/4 length sleeves, and it's got a separate piece of band for the ruffle to make the ruffle. And then it's sewed on to the end of the 3/4 sleeve and made a ruffle with a piece of the same trim around the neck. It's cute. So this band here is separate and ruffled. It's bigger, longer than this, and then it's ruffled and then sewed on to make a ruffle. I'll stick my hand down in there. Kind of a little bell shape. And then it's also it's two pieces, and they're sewed together inside out, and then it's sewed onto the ruffle. These are really detailed. Okay, Janet. Detailed sleeves. So this is two pieces, and you sew these two together to get this reversed seam inside out, and then you sewed it onto the band of the arm. If you know anything about sewing. I hope that helped you. But anyway, I was going to try to make a little cluster. And I got a few pieces of paper. And I think. I'm going to take this piece and ruffle it with some decorative scissors. And I have a piece of netting from my tangerines. And I think I'm going to put it on there. Why not? I'm going to look for some lace. And these scissors won't cut anything. But that's like a little cluster. And a button. How about a button? So you can see we can do anything we want to our art pages. See what we got up here. I've got a red button. I got a hand. Anybody need a hand? That looks cute. I think I'm going to put it on there. I got a flat button. That's old-timey. A lot of these buttons came from my grandmother. Both of my grandmothers. I can use both of them. What else we got in here? I need some lace. I think I've got a little bit of lace down in here. I got tons of lace. Let's see what we got here. I'm making a cluster now. I'm off on a new tangent. Tangent. But anyway, from my idea of clusters, you just do little snippets of different things, and some things hang off and hang over, and other things sort of poke out or stick out. And this is just a picture from a magazine, and it was a Christmas cookie. So I cut the Christmas cookies out, but I think it looks cute, and it's appropriate for a picnic. I like it. And I think a lot of the snippets, they're either stapled together or glued together or sewed together. We can sew them. So, and this is this has a, oh, what do you call these on the back? Somebody help me. Not an eyelet. Oh, I've already glued that one down. Shank. Is it a shank? So I made a little cluster. So what's everybody going to do today? Anything? Anything interesting? I think we got rid of our trolls. But I just can't imagine people doing that for a living. I mean, I just can't imagine. I mean, unless you were being paid to do it, why would you want to go into other rooms and wreak havoc? It just doesn't make sense. And I really don't think the president would want to make enemies like that. He's got other important things to do. And that is not one of his hobbies. As much as he likes to get on Twitter and do all that stuff, he's not going to come into my craft show. He's a businessman, for Pete's sake. He could care less what kind of snippets I put on my clusters. I mean, come on. He's a businessman. I really don't think he's going to come into my little room with 15 people in it. He's on a bigger scale. Right. And besides, if he would come in here, he'd say, "What in the world are you doing, Beth? I want to know. I'm the president. Tell me, what exactly are you doing? How is it helping our environment?" And I'm going to say, "Well, this is helping to keep things out of our landfills, sir." Oh, good. So, but no, seriously. I mean, I really am sincere. I really don't think that uh, that was anything to do with our president. I am going to add a little tacky glue under some of these items. To keep it from going too far. So there's one. Picnic art. Just for fun. And I want to put one more right here. And for some reason, I kind of like this guy. With a button. See? That one's even better than the other one. But I like the other one too. Oh, Joyce's daughter makes dolls and she has a site. Joyce, you have permission to share that site, or you can message me the site. I'd like to go see it. Hi, Pat. Pat, look at my very first cluster. It's a cluster. And this one, I think this one's better. I added a little green paper to it. I'm getting ready to sew it on. Oh, okay. I'll give her a wrench. Hang on, Joyce. Joyce, the next time you post something here, you'll be blue and you will have the power to kick people out of the room if they're not behaving. Yeah, Mitzi, they are fun. I don't know if I said hi to everybody in the room, but hi, everybody in the room. Definitely. I've done little clusters before, but not like these. These are a little bit different. And I think this is one of my grandma's old buttons. And it's going to go through that hole any minute and poke my thumb. Any minute. There it is. And I'm just using pink thread because that's what's on my table. Well, thank you, Joyce. Joyce and I have been friends for several years. I've known Joyce for a while, and we've been pen pals. So I didn't know that about you, Joyce. Good to know. I think that'll hold it for a while. Now I really like this page now. Really. Thanks everybody for helping me with it. Appreciate that. Put some of my things away. I was doing a flip through my journaling by fives, and I got waylaid in a good way. And I know that this needs something else. This is Art You Precious, and I had a cat, and I cut it out as a heart, and I don't know what it needs. It may be some lace around her, around the kitty. But it needs something. Oh, you've already gone over and checked her site out? Well, great. Okay, on Facebook, fleece meandering home. Okay. Okay. I will. I'll go over. I will. I'll write it down. Stickles around it. Okay. Meander. Okay. Thank you, Joyce. I'm a terrible reader. I'm very phonic. I can't spell either. Never could. I get it honestly from my mom. She can't spell either, and she's a school teacher. I'm very phonic. I don't know why. I just not one of my talents. Stickles, but I also think a little bit of lace might go cute around her. This kitty cat. I think I've got something that would work. I got so much stuff in this room. I could supply lots of people some artwork in here. I got tons and tons of stuff. Tons. I got this from secondhand store. I think I'm going to have to get the hot glue gun out though. But it's very circular that I think it would go around her very nicely. Little white kitty. Let's see. Lisa, do you have a white kitty? I think you do. Can you see where I'm going with this? The only problem I would have with that, Gilly, is that it would make my eyes itch. I was petting my cat this morning and I had to go wash my hands. because now I used to have, before I moved down here, I used to have two Siamese cats, and they didn't used to make my eyes itch, but the pollen down here is different. And I've noticed that, I'm just not immune to the pollen down here yet. Oh, Becky has white kitties. Okay, with gray. That's where I've seen them at. But I've kind of always had cats. Aren't you precious? I still want to get some glitter out. Got a little bit left. This is a just a glitter glue. It's the same things as stickles, if you ask me. Oh, Holly, you got orange kitties? Mm-hmm. Oh, Holly has lots of kitties. Uh-huh. How many kitties do you have, Holly? Lay down, Abby. Lay down. My cat's Holly, my kitty that I have now, she was a rescue kitty. She was a hurricane kitty. I got her after Hurricane Matthew rather. Uh, the people that had her, um, their trailer got damaged and they had to move. 8 plus, one stray, and you feed them all. Okay. You talk about herding cats, Holly. You really herd cats. We have feral cats down here in Florida, along the beach and the river down here, the intercoastal river, and they're feral cats, and they are protected through the wildlife. They protect these feral cats because they have every right to live in the wild as any other animal, so they say. And so there are volunteers that go around and uh, tend to them a little bit and put out a little bit of cat food. But they hunt in the wild and survive. Do you have sheep too? And dogs? But but they're protected down here through the wildlife and rescued, feral cat rescues. Okay, I'm with you. But the cats that I got, they were rescued because the people had to move and they could not take the cats with them to the new place, and so they offered them, you know, free to a good home. And I just happened to be on Facebook when the girl put it on, and I said, well, I'm looking for two cats. so so I went to go get them, and I told Joe, I said, come on, let's go for a ride. He says, well, where are we going? I said, well, I kind of want to go down this way, you know. So I got sneaky. You have 3 sheep and 1 dog and 2 puppies on the way. Okay. Okay. Give it just a little bit of a haircut. Oh. I think that makes that much better. Much better. And some stickles. I'm going to put little stickles underneath here to give a little bit of a shine. Underneath the lace. Can you see it? I can. It's underneath the lace, but I could do it on top of the lace. I tell you, I had so much nail polish on Lisa's artwork that I did the other night. It took 2 days for it to air out. I was fumigated in here, but I dripped it on my tree, and it really made it nice because it was glitter nail polish. It had glitter in it, and it really made my tree colorful with the different colors that I put on it, plus the glitter in the nail polish. It really made it nice. Did everybody see my art from Lisa's Pick 10 the other night? I can show it to you again. There, I stickled it some more. She looks like a little Valentine. I think after it dries, she'll glitter a little more. Okay, guys, we did good. What else can we do? This one says, art created beautifully. And I just had a girl and an archway of flowers. This was like a doorway or some kind of picture frame with some greenery on it that they painted. And I just cut it out of the magazine, but I used it like an archway. Guys are talking about goats. Okay. They can be ornery, the goats. I've seen a few goats. They like to get stuck in the fences and stuff. Oh my gosh. My niece back up in West Virginia, she had sleeping goats. Have you ever seen the sleeping goats that have narcism, and they all of a sudden they run along and they fall asleep? Fainting goats. I think they're called fainting goats. Yeah, they get excited. That made that one a little bit better. The new art. It's your art. I put some of my international stamps on this one. This is from England, Royal Mail. And this is from Indiana, Thinking of You Mail. And this one's from Orlando. So, anybody got any questions or anything? Want to know about anything? Y'all still talking about goats? They're pretty handy to have around if you got a field that you want to, get the grass and the weeds all under control. They'll eat them. Oh, okay, Holly, you had some. That's what they do down here when they find feral cats, and there are several neighborhoods in the woods where they live. And I've talked to the cat lady that goes and feeds them. She she's a volunteer, and she feeds them out of her own pocket. But some of the vet places donate cat food to her and stuff. And but she'll, if she can catch them, she'll try to catch them, and then they have these free clinics because they're feral cats, and they want to release them back into the wild. That I guess they get some county money for the from the wildlife department. They get some money to have them paid to have them fixed. And then this one cat lady, she goes over every day and gives them a little bowl of food and tends to them. And one of the camps where they live are over by a cemetery that's about a mile from me. and it's close to an airport. And the airport has hangars that they rent to other people, that own planes, because it's a personal private airport. And they complain about the cats because they go over there, and they start marking their territory and stuff. So the lady's been trying to catch them and to get them fixed so that they will stop spraying. That usually stops them from spraying, but I'm not too sure about all that. But we have them down here. And after Hurricane Matthew, which was a couple years ago, uh, the up in Daytona is about a half hour from me north, and there was a clinic up there that did a lot of um inexpensive care, where and they had a lot of, like, student veterinarian students. They get a lot of students up there that work and want experience, and they had a clinic after the hurricane. They received some money, some grant money, and so they offered a special to get dogs and cats fixed and to get their shots and to get them also chipped. And that was right after I got my two cats 2 years ago. And so I called up there and I said, I want to get, my cats in. And they said, well, we do all girls one day and all boys the next day, and uh, another day, So I had a boy and a girl cat. So I scheduled their appointments to get them fixed. And for $25, I got spayed, feline shots, and rabies, and supposedly microchipped, and for like $25 each for each cat. But I had to go up 2 different days, and you have to go up early and drop your cat off, and girls one day and boys another, because that way they herd them in and do a routine on each one of, they just do the same thing that day to keep it just makes it easier, doing the same thing every day, all day. So I thought it was fine, and I think they did a fine job, and I didn't. I did it. I had my both my cats had surgery and done, and I didn't have any complications that I know of. And of course, I lost Sonny about a year ago, and now I just have the one cat. Yeah, the Humane Society. It was between the Humane Society and the wildlife protection down here. It had something to do with the wildlife protection because of the feral. They live there like a wild animal, like any kind of a squirrel or raccoon or a bird, any kind of wildlife, and they are protected under some kind of law. I am using Elmer's glue in my jelly jar. Right now, it doesn't have any water in it, but if it gets real thick, I do put a little bit of water in it sometimes. But it's just a paintbrush in Elmer's. And I bought it for the very first time. I bought a gallon. I bought a gallon of school glue for the very first time in my life. I've never bought this much glue before in my entire life. And it's already halfway gone. So I do like Mod Podge, but this is just as good, I think. I don't, I kind of like this too. I don't really have a complaint, but I just pour a little bit in my jar at a time, and then I keep a lid on my jar at night so it doesn't dry out. Okay, Lisa. So that's what I do. And Mary Altier told me that she uses glue and she puts a little bit of water in it sometimes. And I think that just keeps it from getting thick. And I just pour it in just like this and mix it up. No muss, no fuss. And it dries good. It dries clear. It's cheap. There is, if you're playing the game, if you're playing journaling by fives, there is a thing as too much glue when you're playing that game. You just want to tack things down so that the pages don't glue together. That's true. But I did put a little bit of glue on this page to glue these down. So anyway, that's the last page of my art journal, and I'm not going to bind it until after we play again in 2 weeks. And when we do, when I do bind it, this is still wet, so it's got to dry. And this is still wet, it's got to dry. But my clusters, I think, are okay because I sewed those on. I'll show you my clusters again. There they are. But so I'll play the game again on the back side, and then I will bind it like my mermaid book. I'm going to bind it like this. And because I liked it and I just love the way it feels, and that's what I want to do with this. I'll put a cover on it, pick one of these to be the top cover, and bind it that way. But I'm going to wait till after we play the game again. So that's that, and I think I'll get this binder clip back out and put these together since I'm not going to play again for 2 weeks. And I'm going to put this where I won't forget where I put it. Now, where is that going to be? I'm going to put it right here in the front of my desk. So I can't forget that one. Because I will forget. And see, I could really play a game in this one. It's got a lot of back pages on it. Empty pages. Here's the tea stain. I've got that on my to-do list to show you how I do my tea staining papers. I've got a big list. You remember that clipboard I bought? I got at the yard sale? Well, I've decided what to do with it now. It's going to be my new to-do list. It's on my pink clipboard. So I'm writing down everything I want to do. So when we're bored and we don't have anything to do, we can find something to do. And look here, clusters. I did clusters. But I still want to make some more clusters and put them in my little drawers over here. I want to make more. But I just got on today to say hi and see what everybody was into. I don't remember what time I came on. About 1 o'clock, wasn't it? And I don't really have anything else that I want to do unless you all have something you all want to do or want me to do. So, oh, here's what I was doing. I have to wait for Lisa to come back. I got these strips of cardboard, and I put a seam. I folded them to make a spine, and I got 3 of them. And I gessoed them yesterday. Okay, Becky, see you later, honey. So if Lisa comes back, I wanted to use this for my do-si-do book that they're getting ready to make next Tuesday. Journal covers. So would this be okay to use for my do-si-do book? I got 3 of them. I folded them exactly the same way so that they would be exact. And I gessoed them so they'll look like this. And I didn't know if I could go ahead and glue them now or if I should wait till after we do the binding or do the spines and do signatures, or does it matter? Or should I paint them first? Or should I decorate them first? Or should I... I'm just a big kid. I'm just a great big kid, Lisa. So I think that's how it's going to work. And if any of y'all want to play, you need to get you some cardboard. I'll show you what they looked like before I started. Maybe I had some pieces of cardboard. I think they were they looked awful lot alike, and I don't know where I got them at. Got them out of something. But you could use like boxes of crackers and pretzels and things. No, this is next Tuesday night. It's called Do-si-do Books. Okay. And but anyway, I took the cardboard and I just gessoed it on both sides of the cardboard. And I went ahead and did a scoring technique for the spine. I measured them out, and I put exactly an inch in the middle of the cardboard that I used. And I don't know where I got the cardboard from because it didn't have any print on this side. So they were inside another box or something. But to make a do-si-do, it's 3 books put together, and they're the opposite direction. Okay, Lisa's going to put a link in for us to watch and give us an idea. So I chose to do a little book, and I think Lisa's going to use a Milk Dug candy box for her do-si-do. And I have made a candy box book before, and this is my candy box This was a little candy box, uh, like you get at the Dollar Tree or at the movies, and it was probably Skittles or hot tamales or something. And this was a candy box, and I just cut the top off and the bottom off, and one side is all I cut. So if you want to go get you some candy, and then I covered it in some scrapbook paper, and I made 3 signatures, and I sewed them in, and I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches in each signature, and I sewed them in, and there are 3 spines right here. 1, 2, 3 sets of stitching where I stitched my signatures in, and you can see the 3 signatures. And a signature is called a little packet of papers that you put together, and then you stitch it into the spine, and then this section is called a signature in bookbinding words. Yes, Joyce, it's a candy box that I got at the Dollar Tree, and it's either Milk Duds. I didn't buy Milk Duds, but I can guarantee you that it's probably a Skittles or a hot tamales, because that's what I like to buy. Yes, and Lisa's using Milk Duds. But this was a book that I made several years ago, um, and I decorated the pages in them with painty papers. I used scrapbook pages. I put library card uh, folders in it where you could stuff little notes. I put some more painty papers and some washi tape. I decorated all the pages and glued in ephemera, and I keep this in my pocketbook. I put a piece of lace around it, and I tie it in a bow. So anytime I need to write a note, or I want to write something down so I don't forget it, I can get this little book out, and it's and of course I have some bling on it, and I used embroidery thread and this cotton twine as as some decorations, and of course beads. And this is a little circle punch that I have that makes a scallop, and that's a picture of some flowers out of a magazine. And I glued another little bow on the front. So, you know, I love making things like this. And I did another book. I keep talking about it all the time. I did this little booklet on New Year's Eve on a prompt game. This was a piece of wallpaper, and it was a prompt game that Mary Altier at her channel did on New Year's Eve. And there's party hats and 2019. This was the New Year's Eve game that we played. Lisa's talking about this next Tuesday. They're going to do it at noon for 2 weeks, and it'll be every 2 weeks. And then the next month they're going to do it at night. They're going to try to make something. This time they're making do-si-do books, and they're going to be at noon. And then they're going to try to do it at night. I don't know if they're going to do the same do-si-do books, but they might do another project to get everybody who wants to join in. It's going to be on the 9th, Tuesday the 9th at noon, and Tuesday the 23rd at noon for the do-si-do books. And then the next month, they will announce the next 2 dates. And but this time it's going to be at noon, and they want to include a variety of people in case, if they work, they can't do the noon one. So they'll have to decide. They're just going to do back and forth for a while until they decide what they want to do, which is a great idea for the Do-Si-Do books. Lisa, how many signatures are we going to get to put in them? I'm pretty sure it's as many as we want, but I'm assuming you're going to put signatures in these. I don't want to jump ahead. Tanya likes to keep us in suspense. She likes to teach as in steps so that you don't get overwhelmed, and she'll tell you exactly what you need for each step. She's very good at instructing, and but I'm pretty sure we're going to put some signatures in there, some paper, and I haven't picked out my paper for it yet, or my collars, but Lisa, you did the explosion box, didn't you? We can even put scrapbook paper on these like we did on the explosion box. Okay. And see, my spine is much wider, than the candy box. So I will probably, use more paper. Okay. Okay. So anyway, they will take us through each step, and then we have all week to work on it, and to get things done on it. So it's not like you have to get it all done in one night. They're going to show you how to do it, and you can do what you can that night, and then you have the rest of the week to work on it. So they might show you one, and then the rest of the week you can do the one and the others. So it'll be fun. And I haven't decided, but I'm probably going to use blue. I got a new pad of paper that's called poolside blue. I'll show it to you. And I'm going to use it in the mermaid book. But these are my colors. These are what I like. So I might have to use some of these pretty papers for my new book, my Do-Si-Do book. They're blue, yellow, gold, and greens. But this is what's going in the mermaid book. And it looks like I got 2 pages of everything. I love that. I love turquoise. Ooh, I love that purple and that blue together. Yeah, 2 sessions, like they did with the paper towel book. They'll do two sessions and then you do your homework. Hi, Christine. So yeah, I love that. So these are the papers that I'm going to use in the ocean book. So might have to take a few of these to put in my Do-Si-Do book. Sure. So anyway, I'm excited, and I'm all prepped and ready to start, Lisa. So I got my starter there. Have you ever seen a rubber band this big? Would you just look at that? I got this big old rubber band. I'm putting it around my do-si-do book. Actually, it's too tight. Let me find another one. I don't want it to bend. Yeah, she's saying that if you use any kind of a food box, you might want to sand this down a little bit, the slick side, and put a little bit of gesso on it, which has a little grit in it. And that way, whatever you all do with the box, and I think two pieces like this, they'll show you how to make it look like this. And I just happened to have 3 pieces of cardboard that was the same, but I really only needed 2 pieces of cardboard and then 1 strip here to make this spine. You would make it continuous and put and glue it, glue these 2 together, make this 1 inch and glue it over here together to make your do-si-do book. And that's how they're going to teach you to do it. And Lisa's got the video there to watch to explain it. Right, do not cut the boxes apart. I just happen to have 3 pieces already apart. So I'm just going to glue my two of my sides together. I'm just going to glue these 2 together to make it one. So I'm just going to do it real simple. But if I wanted to, I could cut, I could cut this off and glue it to this other sides too. But I don't think it's going to hurt to glue these 2 together for my do-si-do book. Do you see what I'm talking about, Lisa? I don't think that would be bad. And just glue this side, these 2 together, and these 2 together. But I will watch the video, and if I need to, I'm not gluing it together just yet anyway. So if I have to, I'll watch the video. But Lisa, she showed you one video where everything was one piece. It was all one piece, and she showed you how to fold it for the do-si-do part 2. Okay, so it's okay if I do that. And I'm confusing people? Oh no, Joyce, I can't be. I'll tell you what I will do. I'll give you an example. I'll show you with a piece of paper and give you an example, because I don't want to confuse anybody. Maybe I better hush up and let Lisa teach the class. I'm not trying to confuse or take over or anything. I was just showing what I was doing. But a do-si-do book is 3 books. And you got 3 books, and 2 of them are going towards you, and then the middle book is going away from you. And all I did was 3 pieces of books that were together, or 3 candy boxes with the sides cut off, And I've got 2 books going towards me and 1 book going away from me. And they're glued back to back. And that's called do-si-do books. That's where they get the name do-si-do. You know, it's kind of like in square dancing, do-si-do, your partner, swing your partner around and round. But I certainly, you know, it's not my intent to confuse anybody. That's not what I want to do. But Lisa was telling me that it was okay that I glued my books back to back. And she said it would just make it sturdier for me. But when they teach you how to do it, they're going to show you a piece of cardboard like this, all in one piece. And they're going to show you how to bend the spine for this side. And maybe you can't see my spines good enough. But like I've got a spine here. And a spine here. This is a spine. This is a spine. And then I have a spine here. It's hard to see because I painted everything with gesso. And they're going to only use 2 pieces. And they're going to show you how to build this spine here in the middle of the 2. They're going to show it to you in a different format, but it's still going to be all one when you're done. It's all going to be glued together. It's all going to be glued together as one, and then you're going to have 2 books. The first book facing me, the middle book away from me, and the last book towards me. Do-si-do. Now, she keeps telling me 2 books. Are you not going to be using, are you just going to be doing 2 books this way? And just do the 2 books? Maybe I saw another video where there was a 3rd one involved. She keeps telling me 2. So how about that? With all sides attached. So it's going to be kind of like this. But I haven't watched the video. Maybe I'm saying it wrong, and I'll stop. But it's going to be 2 boxes used to make 3 signatures. So I'm going to stop. I'm just going to stop. You know what? There's no right or wrong in art. We're all doing it together, and we're all learning together. And I will watch the video. I'm sorry if I've told anybody wrong. I've just gotten excited and ahead of myself, which I do a lot. Thank you, Joyce. But I'm getting ready, and I still have a week to go, so it's not too late. Okay, Holly. I'll go look at the video. Like I said, I'm ahead of myself. But you know, I just like to say do-si-do. I just like to say it. And it's the same thing with Tanya's Totally Junk Journal. I think you have to say junk 3 or 4 times to make it right. It's Tanya's Totally Junk Journal. Exactly, Lisa. I'm just making it my own, and Joyce is rolling in the floor laughing. Okay. So anyway, yeah, we're going to do something really, really fun, and you're going to tune in to Tanya and Lisa and get it right. And you can use You can use food boxes. You can use cereal boxes. I don't know what this came. Oh, this came off of the back of a 12 by 12 scrapbook paper pad. And I keep cardboard in my stash over here. And looky here, I got a vanilla cookie box. I can maybe use it. So I may have to prep some new cardboard. And Becky is going to be your guest and help you along. You're going to have a threesome. That's going to be fun. And I will be in there. learning as we go. And this is the cardboard that I had. I had this in over in the closet. I had some cardboard that I used to separate my greeting cards. And this one was Get Wells, my Get Well cards. And I had my cards in between these. And separating my greeting cards. And this is the kind of the cardboard that I did over here. It was about the same size. And I don't know what it came out of, but I had a bunch of them. And they were all the same size and the same color. So that's what I used here. So you can use, just about anything cardboardish. And I'm sure it would work even if you used cardstock. So I'm sure that, but I think they want three thick cardboards for the back of the books to make it nice. So that's what I did, and then this box here, it came out of something that I got for Christmas, and it was like a vase, and this was like in the bottom of the box, and then the lotion or something was up on top of this. You know how they make the boxes so big, and they raise everything up to the top, and they have all this fluff in there, and then you find an empty space in the bottom of the box. But this was in the bottom of that box, and I saved it because it was a pretty nice piece of cardboard, and I have it to use for something. But get you some cardboard or a manila folder. A manila folder. This is a part of a manila folder, and it's got a thickness to it as well. So I'm sure you can find something of substance to use. And they're going to show you exactly how to measure it, and the sizes and the inches, and how to score it. So yeah, that's it. Well, listen, guys, I had fun today. We played a little bit and did a little bit, so I'm going to jump off here and get busy and get some housework done. Okay, I got to go too, Lisa. So I hope y'all have a fun rest of the day, and get some things done on your table. And tonight is Wednesday, so we're going to see Becky tonight after a while and do a pick 12. Okay, bye, Joyce. We're going to see Becky at 7 Central. No, Becky's going to be Eastern. She's in North Carolina. So Becky will be on tonight. You're welcome, Joan. We'll see you tonight, and we'll play the Dirty Dozen with Becky. Have a good day, and we'll see y'all later, okay? And thank you for sitting with me for a spell. I appreciate it. All right, I'm going to sign off. Unplug my glue gun. It's hot. I can feel the heat. See you tonight.